Hi, everyone. I am author and speaker Laura Diehl. Earlier this week, I was in a conversation with someone specifically about what it's like to lose a child. And they made a comment along the line of, yeah, when someone close to us dies, it's a really hard struggle. And I had a hard time not bristling because it's like, you don't get it. It's not just a struggle. It's not like any other loss, any other grief. It's suffocating. It's beyond what you can describe. And that's I guess that's one of the points, is that we can't describe it to someone. We can't get them to understand what it's like, because this is one of those situations where unless you have faced it yourself, you don't know what it's like, and people cannot relate to us in our grief. And so it's we just can't expect people to get it. And I know that that's the case for me. Before I lost Becca, I was clueless. I didn't understand. I had no clue how bad it was, what it was like to face that kind of grief. And when I was early in my grief, it was still very raw for me. Someone actually posted on Facebook that their cat had died and they felt like they had lost a child. And it was like I just wanted to climb through the computer screen and yeah. So I couldn't leave it alone because I was too fresh in my grief, and it was too early for me to just let things roll off my back like that. And so I tried to explain why that was impossible, and talked about how I've lost both, and they don't even come close to being compared. I have a 17-year-old cat right now, and I would, in a heartbeat, in a split second, I would trade that cat to have my daughter back. And as people saw that, I was the one that got attacked. I got attacked for not allowing her to make this comparison. And people were saying, leave her alone. Having a pet is a member of the family. And things like, I hope you go get counseling because you are like over the edge. You need help, and those kinds of things. And I will say that this woman did message me behind the scenes and was just appalled at herself when she realized what she had done, and just greatly apologized. And she's even apologized a couple times since then. She just feels so bad about making that comparison without even thinking about the reality of that. But you know, when people try to compare their loss to ours, it's thinking they're bringing us comfort. It's rough. It's hard not to just attack them. You know, when someone says, oh, I know how you feel. I lost my grandpa and I just cried for 2 months straight. No, that's not, no, I cried for a year straight. And I still cry, you know, I don't have to tell you, you know, or someone will come up and say, oh, I know how you feel. I lost my husband a couple of years ago, and I'm okay now. You'll do fine. You'll be fine. Those kinds of comparisons, they just don't help. We know that. There's an interesting observation I've had since I've been in this world of bereavers. That's what I call bereaved parents. It's someone who's had their child seized, robbed, torn away from them through death is the definition of a bereaver. So one thing I have noticed is that it's very unusual for us to compare our grief to each other. Now, you may notice it since I brought this up now. You may hear and see it once in a while because you're paying attention. But as a whole, you will find that we do not compare our grief to each other. I will not tell you I know how you feel in the loss of your child just because I have lost a child. I don't know how you feel because your relationship with your child was totally different than my relationship with my child. The circumstances around the death, everything is different. So there's no way I know how you feel. Now, I have experienced the suffocating darkness. I have experienced where I've forgotten how to breathe because it's been so painful. I've experienced burying my child. I've experienced that situation, but that does not mean I know how you feel. And most of us parents, there's just something in us that we know that. It's just way too personal. Even if our children died the same way in a car accident or heart damage, whatever it was, it's very rare for us to say, I know how you feel, because we know that is not comforting to us, because you don't know how I feel. I don't know how you feel. I do know what it's like to believe that I can't take this pain for one more minute, much less a day or a week or a month or a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. I can't even go further than that. I mean, I would literally, the pain would be so great thinking about that. I couldn't breathe. I literally couldn't breathe. It would hurt so bad. And thinking, I can't do this. How? I can't. And one thing, just to put a note in here, one thing God showed me in that pain is that I'm not getting further and further away from Becca. Every day I'm here on this earth is actually one day closer to my own departure. And so I'm actually getting closer to her, not further away. You are getting closer to your child, not further away from your child. And when we join them again, there will never be a separation ever again. That's one of those things that we can hang on to by a thread, right? It doesn't bring our child back. It doesn't erase the pain that we're going through now. But there is hope in the future. So anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to share with you. And I guess the encouragement that I'm giving you is that I'm validating the fact that you're right. Nobody knows how you feel. But that doesn't mean that you have to isolate yourself, and that doesn't mean that you have to feel alone. Because like I said, there are plenty of us who know what it's like to lose a child. We may not know exactly how you feel about losing your child, but we know what comes with the loss of our child and burying our child. So anyway, you connect with other parents who have lost a child, who are further ahead than you on this journey. You can connect with us at GPS Hope. We have a Facebook page. Just put in /GPS Hope. We have a website where we actually have a free members library. There's lots of stuff in there you can download and have for free. We have a wall of remembrance where you can have your child added, what you want people to know about your child, their picture. Anyway, we do everything that we can to walk with you so that you are not alone during this time and in your place of just that suffocating darkness. There is hope. You may not feel it, you may not be able to see it, but we are holding it for you. We are here holding it for you. There we go. Get the reflection off. So we are holding on to hope for you until you can see it and take hold of it for yourself. And let me just end by saying we are here to be a light of hope in your place of darkness.